What is up, and welcome to Real Advice in Relationships. I'm your host, Keisha, aka Author K.O. Sterling, and I want to thank you for tuning in to the podcast. As you're enjoying today's episodes, please rate this podcast, share this podcast, but most of all, download the podcast episodes. So sit back, turn up that dial, and enjoy this Southern girl share some real advice in relationships. Hey guys, what is up? This is your girl Keisha, aka Author K.O. Sterling, and I am back today to do another podcast episode. I hope that this edition of Real Advice in Relationship finds you well wherever you're listening to this, whenever you're listening to this. I hope that all is well. Oh my goodness, y'all, long time no talk. It's been a long time since I came on here and did a podcast. Actually, it's been, I want to say like a week and a half, probably like 2 weeks. Yeah, almost 2 weeks now. So I normally post once a week. So I skipped last week. But at any rate, I'm back with you guys on today. I guess I would like to share why I was out. I have kind of hit the podcaster's plateau a little bit. And not just the podcaster's plateau. I had the opportunity to sit back and meditate on the content that I have created thus far on my podcast, right? I have had a chance to sit back and kind of rethink some things through as far as the foundation I've laid so far and where it is I want to go. I want to start with saying thank you guys so much for the support, because even during my hiatus, I reached my 1K download. Thank you. Okay, thank you. I'm humbled by that. Thank you so much. Next, I want to talk about the direction. Well, let me back up. I want to talk about the foundation that I've laid. Now, the entire premise of Real Advice in Relationships was created because it was to serve as an extension of my book, I'm Enough, which is available wherever books are sold, right? And it was based around some of the conversations that were very popular within that book, right? And there were a lot of moving parts as far as relationship dynamics, right? That you can have or you experience as a woman when you're in a relationship with a man. So I wanted to extend that conversation because so many of my readers did gravitate toward that, and they verbalized and vocalized that to me, okay? But I made a mistake as far as not really fully representing I'm Enough and giving I'm Enough book its just dues. And what I mean by that is I'm Enough is more than an aspect of relationship. Relationships with a man is an aspect of the book, but it's not the entire premise of the book, okay? That's not the entire makeup of that book. It's just not, okay? And I did that as a disservice. As a writer, as an author, and as a podcast host, I have done, I don't feel like I've failed completely in doing that, but I feel like I've fallen short. And so for that reason, I want to take the podcast in a different direction, right? I want to change the tonality here because I don't want to ever feel as if I am perpetuating or if I am kind of building on that stigma of an angry black woman, because I'm Enough book is so much more than that. I'm Enough book is ultimately about the relationship that you have with yourself. I just discussed my own experience of how I had several relationships, but there was one relationship in particular that served as a catalyst to get me to where it is that I am today. And that relationship served as a catalyst to take me back into the very things that I had been running away from. And I had been running away from undealt with daddy issues, abandonment issues, rejection issues from my father, and, growing up not feeling adequate enough for my father to be present in my life, and therefore carrying that mindset and that perspective over into my adult relationships. Like, I wasn't good enough. And so I went into relationships always having, self-esteem issues or lack of self-confidence and things like that. And I had no idea that those were issues that I already had before I got into those relationships. And when I went into those relationships and they failed, and it's like, why don't, the men that I'm with, why don't they want a good woman, this, that, and the third? But it was not completely their fault, even though oftentimes we as women blame the other person. But I can only speak for myself. I'll focus on me for a minute. I was blaming guys, and looking at them as if they were the bad person, and not realizing that I was coming to the relationship with unrealistic expectations. Hold on. Silent unrealistic expectations. I wanted them to fill that void in my life that was created by the abandonment issues and the rejection that I experienced from my father not being consistently present in my life. So I wanted them to work out heart issues. I wanted them to work out spirit issues. I wanted them to work out emotional issues that I myself ran away from for so long and just ignored it. And let me say this, just because you don't talk about something, just because you don't address something, just because you sweep things under the rug, from traumas, abandonment, rejection, does not mean you are not operating in that on a daily basis. That does not mean that those things are not issues for you. Because I think it's good and it's safe to say that you find a lot of answers in things that people don't say in their silence. And you can also find answers and wisdom in things like behavior, right? You can find a lot about a person when you pay attention to their patterns, their behaviors, and their actions and their reactions. You can find out so much about a person. And so I spent a lot of my time deflecting. Instead of more time of doing reflecting, right? So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I wanted to share that I'm still going to be bringing content over here at Real Advice in Relationships. I have to figure some things out. I have some things in mind. I have some ideas in mind, but I want to still keep the podcast title Real Advice in Relationships, because again, the first and most important relationship you will ever have, if I didn't say that earlier, I want to make this point now. The most important relationship that you will ever have going into any relationship will always be the one that you have with yourself first. And I won't dive into that here because that could be an upcoming episode here on the show. But at any rate, I wanted to just come on here and just be really transparent with you guys and let y'all know what was going on with me. How, where I was, in my head as far as, the direction of the show, why I haven't posted in over a week and things of that nature. Is really because I had hit that podcasting plateau, and also because I am wanting to change the tone. I want to change the direction, and I want to change the atmosphere over here at Real Advice in Relationships, because I never want anyone to feel like what we ain't gonna do is, over here, what we're not gonna do is male bash. And I don't want anybody to feel as if that's what we're gonna do over here, because we're not going to bash the very thing that we hope to attract and the very thing that we seek out, in our in our dating lives, right? So I just wanted to come on here and share that with you guys. I may decide that I want to record something, a bonus episode for you guys on maybe tomorrow or Sunday. Well, today is Friday. I may record something on Saturday or either Sunday. Not really sure. I may wait and post it on Monday or Tuesday or one day later in the week. I'm not really sure. But just stay tuned, because, again, I am going to be active here on Real Advice in Relationships, but we gonna change the direction just a little bit, okay? We're gonna change the direction a little bit, and we're gonna focus more on how we can refine ourselves as people, so we will be better prepared for the relationships when we decide to partake in one, or when that time comes, okay? So that is my real advice in relationships for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until we talk again, it's your girl Keisha signing off. Peace, y'all. Bye. Hey guys, be sure to go to my website, klsterling.wixsite.com/I'm enough. That's klsterling.wixsite.com/I'm enough. There you can find links to all of my social media platforms, shirts, books, and did I mention I offer free ebooks? Yes, when you go to my website, klsterling.wixsite.com/I'm enough, click on the ebooks link and it will take you directly to the free ebooks that I offer. I look forward to seeing you guys there. Bye.